In a previous video, we saw that wetting fluids can rise into porous materials, working against gravity and reaching a maximum height that depends on the contact angle and the pore size. For a reminder about surface tension and contact angle, please check the corresponding video. The rate at which water is drawn into porous materials has important implications for the degradation of building materials such as stone, brick, concrete, wood, and adobe. We explained that capillary rise may be considered either in terms of height, h, reached at a given point in time, t, or the mass gained, delta m, per unit area, a, at the same time. Both quantities increase with the square root of time, with a proportionality constant defined as sorptivity that characterizes the material through its pore radius rp, the fluid through its viscosity eta and surface tension gamma LV, and the interaction between the solid and the liquid through their contact angle theta. The rate of vertical rise or mass ingress is obtained as the derivative of h, or delta m over a, versus time. These rates decrease with time, reflecting the increasing frictional resistance to fluid flow as the waterfront advances in the material. Suppose that a critical depth must be reached before degradation begins. For example, to initiate corrosion in reinforced concrete, chlorides would have to be drawn to the reinforcing steel placed at a depth h crit below the surface. In first approximation, the service life would then be t crit, the time needed for that depth to be reached. Let us, for example, consider a concrete road that is initially dry. In that case, water and de-icing salts can be sucked into the pores of the concrete by capillary pressure, and then we can find the critical times in terms of sorptivity, starting from h crit equals sorptivity times square root of time, so that h crit over sorptivity is the square root of time, which gives us that t crit equals the ratio of h crit over sorptivity to the power 2. Since the critical time increases with the second power of h crit, if the concrete cover layer is doubled or tripled, then the lifespan of that element would increase by 4 or 9 times respectively. Let us now consider situations where the object's dimensions cannot be changed, but the material can. For this, we examine the dependence of the critical time on sorptivity. Since the critical time is inversely proportional to the second power of sorptivity, decreasing that property can have an important beneficial impact on service life. In this respect, sorptivity for height was found to be the square root of rp over 2 eta times gamma LV times cosine of the contact angle. Combining this with our previous expression for t crit, we find that the critical time is the critical depth to the power 2 times the ratio of 2 eta over the product of rp gamma LV and cosine of the contact angle. This shows that the lifespan of an element is inversely proportional to the pore radius, so doubling the lifespan would require using a material with pores half as large. For cementitious materials, changes in the water-to-cement ratio lead to changes in the hardened properties of the material. For example, increasing the water content increases the porosity, which negatively impacts strength and increases the average pore size. Conversely, decreasing the water content in concrete will decrease porosity, increase strength, and decrease the average pore size. So, when planning a new structure and its service life, not only the cover depth but also the water-to-cement ratio should be considered, as these respectively impact the factors h crit and rp in our previous equation. Another aspect that can be deduced from the previously obtained relations is that the critical time depends on the cosine of the contact angle. Thus, wetting fluids penetrate faster than less wetting fluids, since their lower wetting angle increases the cosine term. Therefore, increasing the contact angle causes both the rate of capillary rise and the maximum height of that rise to decrease. The effect of a change in contact angle contrasts with that of the pore size. Indeed, while increasing the pore size also causes the maximum height of capillary rise to decrease, the rate of capillary rise increases when the pore size is increased. Small pores lead to slow rates of rise but high maximum heights, while large pores lead to fast rates but low maximum heights. The contact angle effect implies that applying a hydrophobic coating to pore walls would be beneficial in terms of durability. Such treatments are in fact used to enhance the durability of many porous construction materials exposed to rain or groundwater. However, the use of such treatments on walls of buildings runs the risk of trapping water below the surface and enhancing the risk of damage from frost and/or salt crystallization. This is particularly true for treatments which, rather than producing a molecular hydrophobic layer on the pore walls, seal off the porosity, thereby preventing evaporation of water. Other important means of mitigating problems with the ingress of capillary water include cutting off its source from the sorptive materials. This can be achieved by using dense, poorly sorptive materials as granite in basements of stone buildings. Similarly, polymer membranes can be used to limit contact with the groundwater. Finally, in masonry structures, the properties of the mortar should be optimized in regard to those of the brick and/or stone blocks. Indeed, having a more sorptive water will channel water through the mortar rather than through the more valuable masonry elements. This, along with having the mortars being more compliant than those elements, are important parts of conservative measures in historical masonry buildings. In conclusion, the time needed to reach a certain depth of capillary ingress increases with the second power of the ratio between depth and sorptivity. This insight can be used either to select materials or to better dimension structures to increase their service life. These conclusions hold as long as the hydrostatic pressure exerted by gravity is substantially lower than the capillary pressure, which holds up to several meters for most porous construction materials of interest. Where gravity can be ignored, the equations presented hold for the rate at which liquid is sucked into the materials in all directions, including downwards.